All right, so this is going to be the second of 3 parts for the final exam review. All right, so when we're asked to determine if triangles are congruent, well, you need to know what are reasons to say that they are or they are not. Remember, we have side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and hypotenuse leg. All right, these are all the options that we have. For side, 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 we need to know that all of the sides, corresponding sides, that they're all congruent to each other. Right, I know those are drawn pretty small, so I'll try to draw the next ones a little bit bigger. For side, angle, side, we need to know that 2 sides, and this is important, and the included angle. So the angle in between those 2 congruent sides also has to be congruent in order for it to be side, angle, side. Right? Then for angle, side, angle, it is going to be the 2 angles and the included side that needs to be congruent, so it's the side in between them. And remember, it's exactly how it's written. It's exactly how it'll appear. So between 2 angles, the side that is touching or connecting those is the one that needs to be congruent. Right? Exactly how it's written is what it needs to look like. Angle, angle, side. Here it's going to be 2 angles, and then you notice that the side is written outside of it, so it's one of the sides outside of it. But just make sure it's going in the same order, meaning one, in this case, it's following the 2 arc marks in both of them. So if this side was congruent, that wouldn't necessarily mean that the 2 triangles are congruent because it's not corresponding to sides. And then the last one, HL, it first needs to be a right angle triangle. And then in this case, we just need to know one of our sides or one of our legs and our hypotenuse. All right, so let's go ahead and answer some of these questions. All right, I'm just going to do this one right on here. So add anything that we know is 100% factually correct. Well, these are vertical angles, so I'm going to add this here. And if we look, we have angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. And the side comes after the 2 arc marks on both of them, so that will be angle, angle, side. All right, I will add my angles here. This one's side, angle, side, but this one's not. It's not in between it. If it was side, angle, side, it had to be this angle. So this one would be NEI, not enough information. For this one, we have this is our reflexive property. So these sides are congruent to each other because they're shared in both triangles. We have a right angle, so that means we should try HL first. And in both cases, we do have our hypotenuse and we have the leg, which is our reflexive property that they share. It will be that side there, so that will be HL. All right, for number 10, I can add the tick marks here, and it'll be side, angle, side, side, angle, side. All right, make sure that you are writing the tick marks and arc marks wherever you can. All right, now let's go ahead and do determine if the triangles are similar. Now, if they're similar, we only have a few that we use. Angle, angle, that's new. It's not what it is in congruent triangles. We do have side, side, side just like it, and then we have side, angle, side. The reason why we don't have angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side is because once we have 2 angles that are congruent, we know that the triangles are definitely similar, and there's no need to do anything with that S because we would already prove that these 2 triangles are similar through angle, angle. All right, now remember, it's different than congruent. When it was congruent, everything needed to be the same, but when it is similar, our angles still need to be congruent. That doesn't change, so the angle measurements still need to be the same. But now our sides, instead of being congruent, they need to be proportional. And that means that they need to have the same ratio. So that's why we're creating these fractions. All right, so first let's look over here. Let's add what we can. These 2 angles are going to be congruent, so I'm going to add these arc marks. All right, now I'm going to make, to see, are the sides proportional? Well, I'm going to pick 10 first to work with. So I'm going to put 10. And I need to know what side does 10 correspond with. Well, 10 is less than 18, and 15 is less than 27, so that means it must correspond with this 15, if they're similar. If they're not similar, then they wouldn't correspond anyway, but we would always make sure that we're matching the ones that belong together. So, meaning some people might put 10 over 27 because it's part of this same straight line here, but then you're not having them correspond. So make sure you're looking at the relationships within the sides that we know. And 10 over 15 reduces to 2 over 3. All right, then I look and see, well, 18 is the largest of the 2, 27 is, so 18 over 27. This also reduces to 2 over 3. So we show that we have a congruent angle, and we show that these 2 sides are proportional. So that means, yes, side, angle, side, and now we just need to fill in this similarity statement. triangle WVU. So WVU. They went through the largest side and through the side that we didn't know any of the information about. So this one will also need to go through the largest side and then the side that we didn't know anything about. So that will be triangle WFE. All right, this one is nice and easy. We're not given any sides, so it's nice. We don't have to worry about that. We just look and see where 71 degrees, they match. 39 degrees, they match. So yes, through angle. Right? Then they did QRS, so they did 71 to 39. So that means we have to do JKL. So triangle JKL. Right, now for number 24, we're told that they're similar. They give us a similarity statement, and then we need to use that to go ahead and solve for the missing side length. So let's go ahead and find, well, where is our missing side length? That is this here, QR. So I'm going to first write QR. Remember, I always like putting this out with their side names. This way we can just go ahead and substitute. We know we're doing it properly. Well, QR corresponds with KR. So I would then write KR underneath. And then it's going to be equal to, well, what other side do we have? The other side we have, this triangle, is PR. So that means PR is going to have to correspond with LR. And I do this just to make sure that I'm not just looking at a triangle and making the ratios or the similarity ratios with the wrong sides that don't correspond. Right? Then I'm just going to go ahead and fill it in. Instead of put it in question mark, I'm just going to put an X. KR is equal to 7. PR is equal to 12, and LR is equal to 4. All right, we can go ahead and reduce this 12 over 4 just to make it easier for us to solve. So that will then be equal to 3 over 1. When we have two fractions that are equal, we cross multiply, so X is then equal to 21. Nice and easy. This is going to be the same thing, but now it's not just solving for the whole side. If you notice, our side has a algebraic expression in it. So it's not just solving for the side, but now we're going to have to solve for this X. Right? So same thing now, we start with, well, what side are we trying to solve for? What side is our unknown part of? That is JV. Right? Then I look at JV and I say, okay, well, JV corresponds with JK. So I'm going to write JK underneath of it. It's going to be equal to, the other side I have of this triangle is this JW. So then JW will correspond with JL. And now I know exactly how my similarity statement will be, or my equation will be. All right. Now I'm going to fill in what I know. Well, JV is equal to 2x minus 10. JK is equal to 81. JW is equal to 20, and JL is equal to 90. Right? I'm going to go ahead and reduce this ratio to the right just to make it easier for me to solve. You will not be allowed to use a calculator in your test. So if you try to multiply this through, you're just going to get a larger number. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but it's just easier if you reduce these first, and you're going to be dealing with smaller numbers. Right now we have these two ratios that are equal, so we cross multiply. This is a common mistake that happened when you guys are doing your test. Please make sure that you're distributing this 9 into both the 2x and the 10, so it becomes 18x minus 90. Right? And then this is going to be equal to 2 times 81, which is equal to 162. Then we will add over the 90, add over the 90. So 18x is then equal to 252. We will divide each side by 18. Divide each side by 18. So x, if you're not sure what to do, you can do long division here. So we can do 252 divided by 18. This goes into it once. So it'll be minus the 18. So this will then be 72, and 18 goes into 72 4 times. So this will be x is equal to 14. All right, and that will be your final answer for that question. And now the last one for this video and the last one for this geometry review portion is just going to be this question number 32. All right, I know I didn't go through that many on this video, but there's not that many different topics on this video, and I went through pretty much one of each. All right, this says find the missing side length of each triangle. Leave your answers in simplest radical form. Some people are having trouble with this because they didn't know what to use. But we have a right angle triangle. That means we are using Pythagorean theorem. Right? You will get this formula on your exam, but like I said before, it's not going to be, or you will have the real and you will have the fake one. Right? Our only one that we worry about to substitute in properly is our CR hypotenuse, and that's opposite of 90 degree. So this would be 12 squared plus x squared is equal to the square root of 170 squared. 144 plus x squared is equal to 170. We subtract the 144, and x squared is equal to 26. We will then take the square root of each side. Remember, what number squared is equal to 26 is going to generate two answers. So x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 26. And then, because we're dealing with side length, we're going to reject the negative, and x is equal to the square root of 26. Our units in this case are kilometers, so square root of 26 kilometers. All right, that is the final question for this video. And one more, and then we're done for the year. You'll never have to watch another video from me again.